So I've had some questions from some students about shoulder turn. Is it possible to overswing? How do I know if I'm overswinging? So I always like to try to give a frame of reference to myself when I'm coaching. And what I've done in this video is I've kind of put that cactus somewhere in the field of view, and I'm going to film from this angle. So what I want to do is just kind of talk to you about length of swing. So an instructor or player might interpret length of swing as saying, okay, well, if we can get that club to that parallel position at the top, then that's perfect. If the club continues to go beyond that, we'll call that overswinging. A lot of instructors might say, okay, well, if your club's not getting far enough back, let's get it back to parallel, but then let's not get it beyond that. So here's the problem with that. We're not dealing on this dimension where we're just raising and lifting. We're not dealing with a tipping point or a height. What we're dealing with is a big circle, right? So if I stand in this position and I put my arms out kind of like a helicopter, if I go back here and I get to that point, that's going to look that way in the video. But if I continue to turn, because I've got the flexibility to be able to rotate further, now it's going to look like that. So what happens is that plane or that rotation is that helicopter spinning blade, which I'm going to say is a good thing, right? If you can get good hip turn, good shoulder turn, you got the flexibility, this is all good. Now what happens is at the top end, if we take that shaft and we tip it, right? Now, if all I do is hinge my wrist naturally, so now I'm going from helicopter to hinge. Now what happens if I continue to take that helicopter and spin it? Now where is that club shaft pointed? Now it appears to be closed or across the line, but I haven't done anything other than continue to turn. Now if I stop my turn, at what point do I stop my turn for the shaft to now be perfect in your eyes, right? I've seen a lot of discussion on different videos about, okay, what is the perfect backswing position? Should it be here? Should it look like it's on this plane? Should that left wrist be flat? Should it be cupped? Do I pick it up? Do I keep it connected? Well, here's the deal, guys. A lot of it simply has to do with perspective of what you're looking at. So if I spin that helicopter back to here, and then I keep that helicopter going, that's extra torque and rotation. If I then have that built up, I can then torque the other way and create speed. Well, that actually I don't think looks bad. It just kind of looks like a big helicopter, big spinning wheel, right? But what happens when I create that hinge is now I put another element in. If I keep that going, now it looks like John Daly across the line. Well, yeah, John Daly crushed it. He turned his hips a long way, and the club does do that. If all I did is stop there, now it's going to look pretty good. And if I stop there in my backswing, right, that's going to look like that. So I think it's all relative more to the perspective that you're looking at. Here's the trouble. When we don't use our body effectively, and especially we don't use our hips effectively, then we can essentially overswing one part of our body because we're trying to make up for a lack of rotation in another part. For example, if I take my setup here and I don't use my hips, and that's as far back as I go, well, this in essence would be an overswing, right, or a manipulation to get that club to parallel. The only reason why I'm getting it to parallel is because I'm actually doing something bad. I'm hinging my elbows too much, and I'm kind of tucking my arms in just to make it look right. When really the answer is turn your hips more, right? So can you overdo something? Yes. You can overdo it because you're underdoing the right thing. But if you're correctly doing it, correctly rotating, correctly hinging, and you're on plane, you're not overdoing something that's right. effectively you're actually just doing it better. You're getting a greater range of motion, the potential for more power. And as an athlete working on psychology, what you're actually doing is you're taking your body into a fullness of range of motion that to you is sustainable, right? It's sustainable because you do it naturally. It's repetitious for you. It's easy for your body. So if you go back and all of a sudden you see that club out of the corner of your left eye, well, if you've actually turned properly, and that's why you're seeing it, well then great. But if you're actually hinging and dropping and doing some manipulation, well then that's not good. So hopefully this has been a good explanation for you. What I'm going to do is just hit one, and I'm going to rotate nice and full and free, and then you be the judge. Okay, I can tell you that there's zero manipulation, and for me, I'm not trying to stop at a certain location. I'm just turning, and if it happens to turn and the club tips past parallel, well then so be it. Okay, that's a full rotation, imbalance, and that is what it is. And if you're able to make that type of rotation and you're not adding any extra manipulations, twists, or turns, well then that's going to help you to be repetitive. And if you can be repetitive, you can really play this game at a high level. As you do that, what I discussed on the left foot, as you do it on the right foot. So as you